everyone. I got about a 14-minute drive before I get to where I need to be. So I thought I would just say what my thoughts are for my playlist to come. Obviously, I finished the 3-4 playlist. Moving on to...
In 1 mile.
Oh, shoot.
Turn right.
I better leave her on, though. We're moving on to looking for and identifying the weak side and then betting against it that it will not come down, right? I see numbers of shoes where this happens, and I just wanted to say this in this video so I don't have to re-explain it throughout the whole series, is that it doesn't always work, right? You can have things that come down back to back, a run of 3 on each color right away at the beginning of the shoe. Well, guess what? If that happens right away, we're going to abandon that shoe and we're going to go to another one. Loss is going to happen. But I know, more often than not, I can find at least for a couple of times, one side or the other just decides it won't go 3 for a minute. And if we're able to find that, we can work with that. Okay? So, you have to go in with the mindset that
0.1 miles. Turn right.
that it's not always going to work, okay? Nothing is. And that goes for all the strategies. I mean...
Turn right.
If it was as simple as, yeah, I'm just going to wait for something to go 3, and I'm going to bet the other side never to do it, and I'm just going to win every day of my life. Dude, I'd be doing that and nothing else. But that's not the case. But we can still play for that, right? If we make a conscious decision that that's all we're going to play for, right? You don't have to worry if it fails or it doesn't. Because if it fails, and it does go 3 on both sides, then that shoe's over. You don't have to look at anything else going on. You don't have to care that it was choppy or whatever the hell else it was doing. If you're there for one directive and one directive only, you're limiting the chances of losing
In 1 mile.
by playing for one selective
Turn
thing.
left.
But you got to stick to it. If you're choosing to do it in that philosophy where you're hunting for this and nothing else, right? The fact of the matter is, there's only 3 things that can happen. You win, you lose, or you tie. I don't care what you're going to make your first bet of the day for. That's going to happen no matter what. So, the reason I came up with this is you'll have shoes that are just dominating on player, dominating on banker. You'll have shoes that do a little of both, sure. But if you have the shoe where... Sorry, someone's tailgating me, so I'm going to increase my speed a little bit here. Just I don't want to be that guy holding up traffic.
Turn left.
So, yeah, that's what that next series is going to be about, is identifying the weak side and betting for it. Now, the way I usually do it is as soon as something comes down 3 or more, 4, 5, 6, 11, doesn't matter, I immediately then wait for the other side to come out, and I just start betting against it off the rip. You get side that, like that sample of the first video of that series. I'll probably just put this video in that series since that's all I'm talking about. Maybe I'll put it at the front end of the series. But anyway, in such case, it'll be the video after this video, but whatever I do. You'll see in the first actual Baccarat video of that series how it came down 4, I believe, right away. And then it went bank. And then I started betting against it right away with the heavy chip. With the idea in mind, I'm willing to flat bet it for 2. Because I'll tell you what, I used to bet the small one first, right? And I would win as soon as, let's say bank was the weak side, we'd have 1 red dot, right? I'd bet against it and I'd hit with the little stuff 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and I was winning, and that was great. Okay, but then it would finally go 2, inevitably, right? And I'd bet heavy against it that it wouldn't go 3. And wouldn't you know, that's the one that goes 3. And if I was betting heavy against it, don't forget I would have lost the first effort on the first one to make it go 2. And if I bet against it and I bet heavy against the second one not to go 3, and it does in fact go 3, it didn't matter that I won 5 units on the other ones that only went 1, right? Because I'd give them all back in one go right there. And I'd be down a unit. Down 100 at least. If I was doing it 100 and 500 aggressively, you know. But there were days where I wouldn't even bet for the first one not to go 2, if you follow, at all. I would just sit out of those completely. And I'd hunt for a variable where it went 2, and I'd be like, let's go. I'm just going to smack this one time. And it wouldn't work, you know? And I'd be like, fuck, I could have just won on all these single bankers, you know, 6, 7 of these in a row that went single bank. I'm just sitting out. I could have been slaying them the whole time, right? So I came to this realization again that I got the money to fuck with. Why am I waiting for that specific a variable? I'll just attack with the critical unit right away. And if it doesn't work, I'll simply try again. And if that doesn't work, well, I'm out 2 critical units, right? We're going to lose 2 back-to-back somewhere anyway. But I'll tell you what, if it keeps hammering them on the first bank, not going second bank, we're just collecting time over time. And you could reduce at any point within there. Let's say this critical unit was $500 or $250, whatever it is. Back it off after you win 2 or 3 of them and just keep collecting the difference. And if it finally goes 2, fuck it. Flat bet whatever that new amount is.
1 mile. Turn right.
You follow? Flat bet whatever that new reduced amount is. And if the 2 of those lose, chances are you didn't even lose a full critical unit, right? And you still kept all those other W's. So, you know, I think that's a better way to do it. Let's just find out straight away if this is going to win or not, right? Why go small first and then go heavy second on a 1-2 or even a 1 and an accelerated bet after? Because you could give them all back. Now, on a 1-2, maybe you don't give them all back, but you're still giving some. I think I would rather do it on a flat bet effort. Oh, fuck. They're going to make me go down this detour street again. I can't go down unless the detour's over. Oh, I'm sorry. So, I propose that for this strategy that I'm going to do on this series, that it's a strategy that you're going in with a bankroll where you're willing to attack. You're willing to attack strong, right? The same amount. We're not increasing it because it's a valuable unit. Oh, it's open. There's no more detour. Cool. Where we can attack twice in a row. Okay?
Turn right.
We're going to just attack twice in a row. And we're going to hope it doesn't go 3. All right? So, if we get a run of single banks, or single players as it were, that never fucking come down to, we're cashing.
Turn left.
Because there's no worse feeling than knowing you were winning on all those single banks that never went 2. And then the second it goes 2, you bet heavy, it fucking goes 3. You undo all that work, let alone the time equity wasted sitting at a table, waiting for something to finally go 2, only for it to actually go 3, right? So, you know, I guess the whole thing about strategy is you're going to win or you're not, right? On the first try, each event where you have the weak side come out. And if it doesn't work the first try, you get a second effort of the same value to at least
0.1 miles.
recollect the attack unit.
Turn left.
Okay. You get to recollect that attack unit to give yourself the grace to try again the next time a single bank comes out, or a single player. But I'll tell you where that pisses me off is if I'm playing for that kind of mentality and every time we get a single bank, it always goes 2, right? Because if you're flat betting and, you know, it's a significant value chip, you're paying some commission, right? Like if it's a $500 chip, you're paying a quarter each time just to get your money back. And then effectively, you're not. You're only getting $475 back, right? If you're winning it on the banker side, right? If you're winning it on the player side, you're cool. That's the ideal situation. But you know what? If it is bank and we get to the end of the shoe and we're just down a few green chips, that's better than being down a lot. You know,
Turn right.
we could find a way to get a few green chips back, right? Is what it is. But that's the thing. Like, if the weak side ends up being the player side, you got to realize a back-to-back bet that fails is costing you. Well, back-to-back bet's going to cost you the 2 units regardless. But if you lose and you get it back on banker, you're paying that extra commission. You got to be able to write the commission off. You know what I mean? There's a better shoe out there. I mean, even if you pay the commission, the shoe that allows you to win 2, maybe 3 critical units after that, you don't give a fuck. You subtract that $75 differential later from your $1,500 you won. You're still up $1,400 and change. You don't care. Commission notwithstanding, you're still up somewhere between probably $1,350 and $1,425 collectively for those 2 efforts. 2 different shoes.
In 1 mile.
If it came to that, where you were just down $75 in commission money. You know what I mean, right? But, of course, the moment something goes 3, I'd be off of that shoe and I'd have to restart. So it could come to pass where you never really got up the 1 unit and you ended up down 2 units plus the commission from getting your money back and banker back to back, right? That could happen. You know, you could find yourself down 1,075 if the crit unit was the purple chip. So that's what I'm saying. The quicker you're able to win, the quicker you want to reduce, right? You want to make sure you're getting off that shoe with the effort. Because let's not forget, right? 500 guys in a day is 15,000 in a month. Oh. And if you were so fortunate to have 3 of those bitches and you had 1,500 a day, you'd have 45G in a month. And it's not hyperbole to say that. That's what it would fucking be, okay? So you gotta treat these things for the value they are, but at the same time realize they're units waiting to be deployed. So you just gotta think critically every moment of every hand what you're trying to do.
0.1 miles. Turn right.
This is the high school. I gotta go in the back. I can't go over there. So I'm at let me shut her up. I'm at my destination here. I just wanted to say that about this video real quick. Sorry, I don't know how that happened. That matters. Think about what I just said, though, as you're watching this new series. That's the premise of it. And you know what? The funny thing is, real quick, you can have the weak side look like it's going to be one thing. And then wouldn't you know, the side that came down 4-player at the beginning ends up never going 3-player again. And you could have just bet against that side. That shit's going to happen. And that's a choice you'll have to make if you see the shoe changing, as it often does. You could switch sides and just bet for the other side to be the weak side, if you think that's what it's starting to do. But just realize the more you change sides, the more you open yourself up to double losses. You know? You just treat it like a new shoe, I guess, at that point. If it doesn't work, you know, just another double loss. All right, I gotta go.